Hey folks, I'm JC from One Shot Adventures, and today I'm going to do a rapid fire review of Cobra Fusion, an adventure for Renegades G.I. Joe or Transformers role-playing game. It mashes them all up together into a short, fast-paced adventure that's filled with action, chases, and a few surprises. Cobra Fusion was available for free on RPG Day. I love it when companies get behind free RPG Day and give away adventures to get folks to try out a brand new game system. And it worked for me because I hadn't played the G.I. Joe or Transformers RPG until I got a chance to play this one. But can a short and sweet free adventure like this provide a great experience for new players? Is it worth giving this one a go? Well, watch out for some spoilers and get ready to transform and roll out, because not only am I going to give you a full review of Cobra Fusion, but I'm going to give you GMs some tips and tricks on how to run this one like a pro. Cobra Fusion is written by Ryan Costello, and it clocks in at around 30 pages. It's designed for mixed parties of Transformers and Joes, and pre-generated characters for this adventure can be downloaded on Renegade's website. The adventure takes place in 3 parts, and it's really designed to be a quick introduction to either the G.I. Joe or Transformers role-playing games. I played through this entire adventure in about 2 hours, so this is a good one if you don't have a lot of time to run a full grandiose adventure with your friends. Now, I'm going to assume that you have at least a basic understanding of Transformers or G.I. Joe as I talk about this adventure. If you don't, well, I'm not sure why you're watching this review, but I'll try to keep the lore of the series down to a minimum. I'm a child of the 80s and I'm a huge fan of Transformers, watched a lot of G.I. Joe, but am not deeply into that one. But I enjoy both franchises, and so seeing these mashed together got me really excited. The adventure kicks off with the PCs all gathered together for a secret mission. The adventure assumes that the Transformers are still largely in disguise on Earth, and only a few select folks, including G.I. Joe top brass, know about them. But when the Joes spot the villain, the Baroness, with futuristic cybertronian blueprints, they're really worried that she's about to arm Cobra with unstoppable futuristic weaponry. So they gather together a mixed force of heroes to stop her. But there's a hitch, because one of the Transformers that was about to join the mission, Bumblebee, has been seriously damaged and needs to get repaired stat. So the first scene of this adventure plays out like a medical drama, with all the PCs scrambling against a time limit to repair Bumblebee before he flatlines. Every character can participate here somehow. They can disassemble an old Awe Striker, that's like a G.I. Joe like vehicle, and they can replace Bumblebee's chassis, or they can reboot his system, or they can like hook him up to electrodes to give him some more electricity. Like, the adventure basically starts out with a surgery scene. Which, trigger warning, if you are a child of the 80s like me, this might give you PTSD from a certain 1984 movie where we had to watch a surgery scene that didn't go well. Poor Optimus. I'm still sad. I like that the author had the guts to start this adventure with like a repair/surgery scene. It doesn't quite work because the adventure clearly states that there's actually 0 chance that the repair fails and Bumblebee is just gonna kind of come back no matter what. But if you want to add more drama, just say that nobody's allowed to play Bumblebee as a character unless they pull off the repair. And since Bumblebee is one of everyone's favorite Transformers, this could be a good way to motivate the players to do their best and pull off the opening scene where they're repairing him. After this opening scene, the G.I. Joe leaders come in and say that they have located the Baroness, along with Swindle, a Decepticon Jeep, and the players are dispatched to southern France to track them down. Now, this part of the adventure plays out like a giant chase scene, with the heroes racing through a small French village to stop the 2 villains. This gives Transformer PCs like a great reason to use their alt modes. They can zoom through the streets and try to catch the Swindle and the Baroness, while the Joes can set up ambushes or put snipers on the rooftops. There's just lots of ways here for everyone to contribute. The adventure includes some fast and simple chase rules, which work well enough, and it gives everyone something to do. Eventually, the chase is going to end with the Baroness captured, but the PCs will be confronted by a twist. She's not actually the Baroness. She's Chameleon, the Baroness's half-sister body double. Well, this was kind of a cool change-up. Like, I was really surprised that this happened at the last minute. It felt like an evil thing for the Baroness to do, to use her sister to fool everyone. In any case, Chameleon, well, she's quick to talk, and she says that there's a secret Cobra cybernetics lab located in the mountains near the Pyrenees, kind of on the border of France and Spain. And that they're working on a top secret plan. They're like building their own Decepticon using the blueprints of Megatron, as well as like the blueprints of a Hiss tank that's like a Cobra tank. And they're kind of making their own Decepticon that's going to lead their Hiss tanks into battle. And this, of course, is a big problem because you take one of the Cobra's best vehicles and Megatron and mash them together, or you're going to get trouble for both the Joes and the Transformers. So the players have to get to the mountains to stop whatever's going on at that lab. The final part of the adventure is a raid on that cybernetics lab, with the PCs having to infiltrate the base, fight off some Insecticon guards, capture the evil scientist, and finally face off against Fusion, this new cybertronian villain that is a combination of Megatron and a Hiss tank. Now, while I like this ending in theory, it was actually pretty fun to play out. The fact that the final fight is against a Megatron repaint is a bit disappointing. Fusion's basically described as exactly like Megatron, just weaker. So Cobra was the one behind soulless, money-making corporate repaints. How did we Joes not catch that? Now, I'm pretty sure that Renegade was ultimately limited by Hasbro's rules and approval system, and they couldn't really create their own original bad guy here, and they had to use art for Megatron to represent him. But the fact that they just kind of describe a slightly different colored Megatron, it just felt like a ripoff as a big bad at the end of this adventure. I mean, Transformers is like full of repaints, like in real life in the toys. Think like Rumble and Frenzy or Laserbeak and Buzzsaw, but at least they have very different personalities and abilities, and they actually look very different when you look at them in the cartoon. So if I run this adventure, I'm gonna spend some time differentiating Fusion from Megatron. Like, not only would he be a radically different color, see, how easy was that? But maybe because he's supposed to be like the leader of a Hiss tank brigade, he can like shoot beacons that can like take over nearby vehicles or even stun Autobots and allow him to take control of them. And they give him a very different personality from Megatron. Like, instead of being all egomaniacal and impulsive, maybe Fusion is like cold and glitchy. Like, he always leaves off the ends of his sentences, and he like talks in a weird stilted way. I mean, after all, this is Cobra building their own Decepticon, so they're not going to get everything right the first time. This adventure was a lot of fun, and to Renegade I say mission accomplished. Like, what a great offering for Free RPG Day. This adventure is fast-paced, it has good surprises, it's easy to run, and it has something for all kinds of characters where they can shine. My only real recommendation if you're going to run this adventure is to run it with a smaller group of players, like no more than 3, maybe 4, because the scenes in this adventure are so tight and constrained that if you have any more players than that, you're just going to run out of things for players to do. There's only so much that they can contribute when the scenes are so quick, fast-paced, and tight. And just like this adventure's fast-paced, that's it for my rapid-fire review of Cobra Fusion. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And if you've played in this adventure or just generally played the Renegade, G.I. Joe, or Transformers RPGs, let me know what you think of them in the comments below. I just picked up the new mega adventure for the Transformers, The Time Is Now, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go thanks to Cobra Fusion. Well, until next time, I'm JC, and just remember, kids, if you want to play your best at the table, you gotta play like a team at the table.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.